Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Sun Entrepreneur here with a new video, and this video is going to be about like how to handle eBay returns. So let's go ahead and get into the first slide. Okay, so what return options do I have on my listings? And these, like all the return policies and stuff, I took them like off the eBay website. So these are all the current policies like that you can select right now. So the first one is you can choose to offer no returns, which I highly suggest not doing this for the fact that, I mean, yeah, you can say like no returns, but let's say if a buyer gets an item and even because like there's a lot of people that they just want to get, like want to be able to return an item for free or anything like that. So they'll say, something's wrong with the item. And so even if you have no returns, eBay will still, force you to like accept the return if the buyer states there's something wrong with it. So this will get into my next one. What I do is 30-day buyer paid returns, and like I highly should like suggest doing this if you have like heavier items and things like that. I mean, I've tried doing like 30-day free returns, like to see if like it would increase my sales on eBay. And honestly, with doing 30-day free returns, I didn't see like any, more like sales or anything. So I always just stick with like 30-day buyer paid returns. And then the next one is you can do 60-day buyer paid returns and 60-day free returns. And then you can offer 14-day returns in the following categories. You can do it in camera drones, camera lenses, collectible and art categories, digital cameras, jewelry, and medical and mobility. So those are the only ones you can do 14-day returns on. And we'll go ahead and get into the next slide. So what to do when a buyer states there's something wrong with the item. And again, this is off the eBay website. These are the 5 options that you have when this happens. You can either accept the return, give a full refund, offer a partial refund, send the buyer a message, offer a replacement or exchange. So what I always do when this happens is I'll like send the buyer a message and I'll like say, like what's up with the item? Can we like do anything like to, fix this situation before like sending it back? And usually, they'll come back and like say something. And if we can't like work it out, through messages, then I'll always like if I'm gonna accept the return, what I always do is offer a partial refund first. Because if I can like send them a partial refund for $10 instead of having them like ship the item back, because when they ship the item back, you're gonna have to, give them a label and you're already gonna have to pay for that. So you might as well send them a partial refund so that way, you can keep some of the money, that they spend on the item and they can just keep it. You don't have to worry about, returning it and then spending because you have to pay back the return shipping costs, because they said that there's something wrong with it and the original shipping cost to the buyer. So you have to remember you have to pay for both of those. So I always like add those into my, partial refund. So let's say if I, you know, it took $10 to send an item and it's gonna take $10 to send it back, I'll like offer them like a $20 partial refund because I'm already gonna be out that shipping cost. So I might as well send them a a partial refund and have them like keep the item instead of sending it back. So that's what I always do if I can get them, to accept the partial. And we'll go ahead and get into the next slide. So what to do if a buyer has buyer's remorse? And again, this is off the eBay website, and you have 3 options on this. You can accept the return, give a full refund, or send the buyer a message. So with the buyer's remorse on this one, since like there's nothing wrong with the item, if they like doing the return, you do not have to refund any of the original or return shipping costs. So what I always do is I just have them go ahead and send the item back since I won't be out any shipping costs. So go ahead and just do that if if someone just says they didn't like the item or anything like that. And then we'll get into our last slide. So this is a big thing that you guys really need to pay attention to. Never open up a case against the buyer. eBay will put a defect on your account if you do this, and then one defect may put your account in below standard, and then a defect stays on your account for a year, and then you will never win against the buyer, and then I've had pictures and video proof. So I'll go ahead and get into the like eBay will put a defect on your account. So basically what I did before is I like so on eBay, whenever I mean like never open up a case against a buyer is so let's say a buyer wants to return an item and you say, yeah, go ahead and ship it back to me, and then you get the item. Well, let's say like they open up a case and they say like the item wasn't as described and you receive it and it it works perfectly fine, it was as advertised. If you open up a case against them eBay will like always side against the buyer. I mean, I've had like I can you can see like I've had pictures and video proof. Like I actually have filmed myself like receiving the package from USPS, opening it up and showing, the item is exactly in the same condition I sent it in, and eBay like will always like refund the buyer. And then they put a defect on your account, and the defect like I was saying, like even just one defect can put your account in below standard, and you never want to go in below standard just for the fact that if you drop into below standard, eBay will like make your search results on your items like very low. They'll put your items lower in search ranks, and it's very hard to sell, items that way. Because I mistakenly did this on my eBay account is I got below standard for opening up cases against the buyers whenever I just thought, maybe I'll win it, and I didn't really, think about the consequences. I was just thinking about, well, that's not right that they did this to me and I need to get my, money back because you have to pay for all the return shipping and, original shipping. So really just never open up a case against the buyer because they will always side with the buyer, eBay will, and you're just going to hurt your account that way. So just remember, I know you can't like write the full amount off, it won't take it off on your taxes, but just remember, just write those shipping, deductions off on your like taxes, and that's really the only thing you can do. Just I highly recommend not doing that because eBay will just put you in below standard, and they can potentially shut your account, for doing that stuff. So really, just don't do that, guys. But I think that's going to do it for this video. If you guys like this video, please give it a like. Please leave like any comments or questions you have below, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Please subscribe, guys, and please turn on post notifications so you don't miss like any of my new videos. And I really appreciate you guys watching this video. And if you have like any video ideas you want me to do my next videos, please just let me know, guys. And remember to work in silence, and that isolation is your friend. All right, see you later, guys.